Economic crises have occurred throughout human history and have always resulted in significant losses and difficulties. The concept of a crisis in economics refers to a severe decline, collapse, or downturn that occurs within a specific period. Crises, which arise from the convergence of various factors, often culminate in a major economic catastrophe. The origins of economic crises can be traced back historically to early periods. For example, the collapse of the Roman Empire was one of the economic crises that occurred in Europe in the 3rd century and continued to have an impact throughout the Middle Ages. These crises could be caused by various factors such as wars, natural disasters, diseases, and others. In modern times, major economic crises have become more prevalent. The Great Depression, which began in the United States in 1929, is one of the largest economic crises in modern history. The Great Depression emerged as a result of the combination of factors such as overvaluation of stocks and other assets, speculation, rapid increase in production, decrease in consumption, and bank failures. Following the Great Depression, economic crises became more widespread in the 1970s and 1980s with energy crises, high inflation, and oil prices. The Asian financial crisis in the 1990s emerged as a result of factors such as excessive borrowing by countries, changes in exchange rates, and the withdrawal of foreign investors. The 2008 global financial crisis, also known as the subprime mortgage crisis in the United States, resulted from the combination of factors such as incorrect lending, major bank failures, market collapse, and economic contraction. This crisis caused a significant collapse in financial markets globally and led to a severe contraction in the world economy. Today, the world is experiencing economic crises due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic has restricted countries' production and consumption activities, increased unemployment rates, and negatively affected many sectors. Historically, the causes of economic crises may vary depending on different periods, but they generally arise from the convergence of several common factors. These factors include economic downturns, financial speculation, excessive borrowing, natural disasters, wars, political crises, government interventions, low consumption and production, among others. How do economic crises occur, and is it possible to prevent them? To what extent is the intervention of the IMF and other international institutions effective in resolving crises? What is the impact of economic crises on social life, and how can we manage these effects? For all this and more, before starting the video, if you're interested in universal economic history, you can subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications to be informed about new videos I upload every day. Enjoy the watch.
Universal economic history.
The economic crisis that occurred in the United States in 1929 is one of the most severe economic crises in history, commonly known as the Great Depression. The start of the crisis is usually considered to be October 24, 1929, a day known as Black Thursday, when a major collapse occurred on the New York Stock Exchange. Several factors contributed to the occurrence of the Great Depression. These included a crisis in the agricultural sector, overproduction, financial speculation, high levels of borrowing, low interest rates, stock market bubbles, and economic stagnation following a period of strong economic growth. The effects of the Great Depression were not limited to the United States alone. The crisis led to a global economic collapse and affected millions of people worldwide. Unemployment rates increased globally, factories closed, businesses went bankrupt, and countries experienced a significant decline in economic growth. The Asian financial crisis in the 1990s was a financial crisis that occurred in the Asia-Pacific region. The crisis began in 1997 and particularly affected Southeast Asian countries. The main causes of the crisis included financial liberalization, high levels of borrowing, fixed exchange rate policies, and excessive reliance on foreign borrowing. Many countries in the region began to face difficulties in repaying their debts due to high levels of borrowing, leading to a loss of confidence from investors. This resulted in the depreciation of local currencies and increased fluctuations in exchange rates. The consequences of the Asian financial crisis were significant. The crisis severely affected the economies of many countries in the region. Increased unemployment rates led to financial institution bankruptcies and caused significant declines in national incomes. The 2008 global financial crisis is one of the largest economic crises in recent years. The crisis originated primarily in the United States but had a global impact. The causes of the crisis included high-risk mortgage loans, inadequate financial market regulations, low interest rates, and excessive increases in asset prices. The crisis began with the failure to repay a significant portion of mortgage loans. This led to the bankruptcy of many financial institutions and the collapse of the banking system. Additionally, the crisis resulted in a liquidity crisis globally and the freezing of credit markets. The crisis had a significant impact on the global economy. Unemployment rates increased, companies went bankrupt, and financial markets suffered major losses. Moreover, many countries had to announce large-scale economic stimulus packages to revive their economies. Venezuela's economic crisis is one of the most severe economic crises in recent years. The crisis was triggered by a combination of factors such as the decline in the country's oil sector, high inflation, foreign currency shortages, corruption, poor governance, and political instability. Venezuela's economy heavily relies on the oil industry. However, due to the decline in oil prices, the country experienced a significant decrease in income from oil exports, exacerbating its economic imbalance. The country is also struggling with high inflation. The government's money-printing policies have further exacerbated inflation. Additionally, the country is facing a shortage of foreign currency, leading to significant fluctuations in the exchange rate. Taking measures and implementing risk management strategies against crises is important both at the individual and institutional levels. Here are some suggestions. At the individual level. 1. Conduct research before investing. Sufficient research should be conducted about the asset before making an investment. 1. Having detailed information about the asset can reduce risks. 2. Diversification. Diversifying investment portfolios can help reduce risks. 2. Investing in multiple asset classes contributes to portfolio diversification. 3. Set financial goals. It is important to determine in advance what actions to take in a crisis and set financial goals. At the institutional level. 1. Risk management strategies. Companies should develop risk management strategies to minimize losses during crisis periods. 1. These strategies may include insurance, hedging transactions, and financial derivatives. 2. Cash flow management. Companies need to manage their cash flows effectively to survive during a crisis. 2. Measures such as increasing profitability and reducing costs can strengthen cash flows. 3. Strategic planning. Companies should engage in strategic planning and scenario analysis to be prepared for crises. 3. Being prepared for different scenarios allows companies to act more quickly and effectively. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, was established in 1944 to ensure global financial stability. The IMF provides advice on economic policies, financial assistance, and intervenes during crisis situations. The IMF's crisis management strategies often involve austerity measures. The IMF monitors and intervenes in member countries' economic policies. Countries can work with the IMF to oversee their economic policies and receive financial assistance when needed. However, the IMF's austerity measures can sometimes lead to social and economic crises in countries. The IMF may demand that a country reduce its debts and implement economic reforms to ensure financial stability. These measures, known as austerity measures, can lead to cuts in government spending, constraints on public services, and increased unemployment rates in countries. Economic crises have not only economic but also significant social and political effects. Crises can exacerbate social problems such as unemployment, poverty, and income inequality, leading to damage to the social fabric. Moreover, Crises can lead to political instability and create a sense of insecurity within societies. One of the most prominent impacts of economic crises is the increase in unemployment. During crisis periods, unemployment rates rise, particularly affecting low-income segments and leading to increased poverty rates. Poverty increases social unrest and can contribute to an increase in crime rates. Therefore, various measures can be taken to mitigate the social and political effects of crises. These measures may include social assistance programs, unemployment insurance, and improvements in education and healthcare services. Additionally, economic policies need to be more balanced and sustainable to prevent crises. Being prepared for crises and developing crisis management plans is also crucial. Thank you for watching my video. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If there's a specific video you'd like me to make on economic history, don't forget to mention it in the comments section. I wish everyone a pleasant day.
Universal Economic History.